Huynh, welcome to the podcast. It is lovely to have you here. Or should I call you Dr. Huynh?
No, I think you can call me Huynh for the casual talk, because I never used like the title doctor, even though I had my PhD in France. But sometimes I feel ashamed with my professor there, because I haven't done anything related to my PhD thesis. But at least I learned from there many things.
I'm sure they would not be ashamed of you at all, because you are now the founder of Intelligence4start, an incredible marketing agency that connects Vietnam and Australia. So despite the fact that you're not using your electrical engineering PhD, I think you are still quite an impressive alumni.
Thank you.
Now tell me a little bit about that journey that you had. So you just mentioned you studied in France, but you're from Vietnam and now you live here in Melbourne. So I'd love to get a bit of a sense of your journey and what brought you here today.
Yeah, so my journey started when I was 12. Like I moved to Switzerland for around 1 year to my father's family. They live in Geneva, Switzerland. So at that time, I just stayed there and then lived with the family. And then I went back to Vietnam. And from that moment, I have the French language in my veins, and then I can understand French more. And then when it comes to my university, I graduated with the bilingual bachelor electrical engineering. So I got the scholarship to go to France for master and PhD there.
Wow.
That is totally in the tech side, in the technology side. And then went back to Vietnam, working in the banking and financial institution. And then moved to Australia. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is the journey.
What a journey!
I love being here. As I told you that Australia is like more diversified for me. I see that we have we are living in the whole community with Asian, with the Western people, with Australian people, everyone, and then we work together. We can speak the same language. So that's why I appreciate the life in Australia.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of the people I've spoken to on this podcast so far came to Australia and came to Melbourne as international students. But you had a different story. You already had a family and kids when you were deciding to move to Melbourne. Can you tell me a little bit about what that migrant journey looked like and how you decided that Melbourne was the place for you?
Oh, yeah. So because my background is with the French culture as well. So at the beginning, I thought of like either Canada or Australia, but Australia is closer to Vietnam, and it is easier for coming home whenever I want to. So that's why I choose Australia. That is the first thing. But for the first arrival, I came to Brisbane and lived there for 1.5 years or 2 years. And then after that, I moved to Melbourne. Yeah. So because during my time in Brisbane, I had the business trip to Melbourne for a conference, and then I fell in love with Melbourne like immediately, just because I spent my time in France already.
Yes.
So I feel Melbourne has like the Western vibe,
that European
like
energy,
European
right?
vibe. Yep. But also have the the diversity life in for the whole days and night.
Great mix.
That's why I choose Melbourne for my family. Not only about the lifestyle, but also for my kids, for the education. And for the culture, they can learn more, and they can have more activities, cultural activities in Melbourne as well. one last thing is about my business. So because Melbourne is more, there are more opportunity for my business as well. So that is all those aspects come to my decision to move to Melbourne, to move the whole family to Melbourne.
Fantastic. And so we're so glad that you're here, because now you have founded Intelligence4start from Melbourne, and you're a marketing company at heart, but with a focus on the Vietnamese community.
Yes.
Is that right? Could you tell us in a day, what does Intelligence4start do?
Yeah, so we help the client from Vietnam going to Australia, client from Australia to going to Vietnam as well, because we understand the culture, the Asian culture, and especially Vietnamese culture.
Yes.
And we are also in Australia, in Melbourne. Also, we understand the business environment in Australia, and how Australian doing business. So that's why we try to help both sides to work on that. And the second aspect is about helping businesses in Australia or in Melbourne to target to the Asian community in Australia. So because also, we speak the local language,
yes.
we can help to deliver the right message from businesses from Australia to the community living in Australia as well. So so that is what in brief what we are doing in Intelligence4start. Yeah.
It sounds like you're really all about helping other companies expand their market reach, scale into different markets, and really using your personal cultural understanding to be able to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
I do want to ask you, when you work with Vietnamese entrepreneurs coming to Australia, what do you find are some of those common challenges that they face, and any particular things that come up over and over again?
Yeah, I met with the Australian ambassador to Vietnam the other day. So he told me one phrase that I really like speak the culture, not speak the language.
Wow.
So when the entrepreneur coming from Vietnam to Australia, they are very smart. They are also successful in Vietnam market. But in Australia, there is different way to do business, and different connection, different network, and everything. So sometimes they feel lost to find the right connection or the right pathway for them to introduce
it must be very difficult.
product. Yeah. So that is, I think that is the biggest challenge for Vietnamese entrepreneur going to Australia. Yeah.
That jump from being somebody that's very confident and successful in their own market, and then coming to a place where they're like, not only can I not, the language is new, but I'm also figuring out how to do business.
Yes,
I can imagine there's a lot of confidence hit and fear.
Definitely. And I know a lot of businesses, they face the challenge for the first 2 or 3 years because they don't know where to go. They don't know where to connect their knowledge or their product or their service to the Australian community or the Australian market.
And that's where you come in with Intelligence4start. So I'm curious about, you've obviously had to build out your personal network in Australia in order to help your clients build out their network.
Yes.
How did you find that experience? Because we were talking before and you mentioned that you're actually more of an introvert.
Yes.
Which makes it difficult, I guess, to go and meet new people. So how did you approach that?
Yeah, so I think I'm lucky, as I told you that I'm introvert, so to talk to people and then expand my network is like very slowly. It's starting with my own circle of friends, a couple of friends, and then it grow up from there. But after 3 or 4 years doing business, I see the power of connection and the power of speak out and reach out to other people. Even, if I just stay within my turf, maybe I cannot show to anyone about my strength or what I can help them as well. So that's why that is where I need to go further from, even from my comfort zone to
push yourself, right?
To reach to other people. And the network is not only within my Vietnamese community, starting with my Vietnamese community, but now it expand to other community as well, like Chinese, Malaysian, Australian as well, like everyone, so that I can connect the dots between each community and then to connect them together.
That's fantastic.
So to get the strength from each community to to support other community as well. So that is, and I enjoy it now more than the beginning when I see that, how can I start it? How can I start with?
You've really nicely described that transition from being quite sort of insular in a smaller network and working with people and slowly building to growing your own confidence and being able to step outside those networks. Yeah. And I have to ask you, I know that you're also part of the Australian-Vietnam Leadership Dialogue, or you've found these networks. How did that sort of play a part?
Yeah, so I found that is a very good initiative to connect Vietnam with Australia. Now, as I said, that more and more people from Vietnam looking at what the Australian are doing. Not like before. We just like hear about something about Australia, but now they want to understand. They want to know more about how people are living in Australia, are doing business in Australia, not only for the migration, but also for doing their business, for expand their business. Yeah, so that is the very good thing, and I think the fact that Australian Vietnamese leadership dialogue connect people from Australia and Vietnam, bring more opportunity for both sides to work together and to bring more initiative for both countries as well. Yeah.
I completely agree. And actually, personally, my business has met some amazing people through the Australia-Vietnam Leadership Dialogue. Yeah. And I don't know if I've shared this with you before, but my co-founder, Jacqueline, has just relocated to Ho Chi Minh City to help us grow our business in the Vietnamese market.
Yeah,
so
I see a lot of Australian relocate to Vietnam, and also Vietnamese relocate to Australia for their business, for the business purpose.
Yes.
Not just like my initial purpose is for my family moving to Australia, but now they just move to Australia for their business.
Yes.
So that is a different way to approach.
Sure is.
The market as well. Yeah.
And I have to tell you, one of the things that we've found that's been a challenge, and I'm sure you see this with all of your clients, is that you have to get very clear on your messaging, your value proposition, and make sure that translation works across cultures. So I'm curious about your approach to building out your value proposition as a business. Were you clear from the start about exactly what you stood for, or do you find that you kind of came to it after a while?
No, definitely. At the beginning, that is just like my journey with the business started. It's just I want to do something on my own. So after 10 or 15 years working in the corporate, I want to do something for my own side, but not really, define what I should do.
Just anything.
Just anything. Just what come to me, I can get it. I can help the clients. But when I work after 3 or 4 years over COVID time as well, so I see that I need to leverage my strength. And my strength is like my background is Vietnamese. and the fact that I'm living in Australia now.
Yes.
I haven't mentioned to you that the team is also the background Asian and Vietnamese. So we understand Vietnamese people. We understand the culture, and also we understand Australian market as well. Yeah.
This is one of the things I love about being an entrepreneur is you can actually create that environment for people to thrive and grow and be creative. And it sounds like you have a wonderful culture of that in your team. And I'm curious because not only do you employ young people, you also have 2 children of your own.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, how do you actually see the opportunities in Melbourne changing for young Asian Australians for this next generation? Do you think there's a difference from when you arrived and to what your children will experience?
Yeah, I can compare a bit when I was in Brisbane and and when I moved to Melbourne. So in Brisbane, that is more, we have more Australian lifestyle because there's less Asian in Brisbane, but in Melbourne, that is more on more diversified. We can see all people from multiple countries coming to Melbourne and then working on the Melbourne CBD. So even for my kids, they feel, they feel life at home with their friends. They have friends. They have Aussie friends. They have Asian friends. They have like European friends. So
all cultures.
So they feel that they are a global citizen. So they feel that they can talk to everyone. We connect with people from Indian background and even from India, from European, from Vietnam, from China, everywhere. So we have the opportunity to talk to them, to understand, and even to share our own culture to them as well. So I think that is very good for the young people to live in such environment.
It's a beautiful opportunity.
Yeah.
I really liked what you said before about, your children and your staff feel like they're global citizens because that's where business is going. So no matter what roles that they have in the future, they're likely to have colleagues all around the world and friends and peers. So I really like that. And I'm wondering now, if you look back on yourself when you were starting the business and trying to figure out what you were going to stand for, what advice would you give to that younger man?
I think one of the funny thing is like because I'm introvert, so I cannot tell my younger me that I need to be not introvert.
It's just who you are.
Yeah. But at least I should have speed it up to connect with other communities rather than staying within my communities for quite long.
It's a bit more proactive.
Yeah. But that is also because of the COVID period, like 2 years that I cannot go anywhere, no networking, no connection. So we need to stay within the community. But if I had the chance to come back to my past, I need to go further to meet more people, more friends, more business partner, more, there are so many nice people, like at least they can tell me about the environment, tell me about all the support I can get from City of Melbourne, from the government, and from my friends as well. I can meet awesome people like you, like Megan, like everyone. I can learn from there quicker than I learned by myself for too long time, and then I go out and then meet with people and then expand my connection. Yeah.
So sometimes as entrepreneurs, we try to solve everything by ourselves, and so it sounds like you would tell your younger self, you're still an introvert. You can't change that, but maybe be more proactive in meeting people. Well, I think you've done a wonderful job of building your networks since then, and I'm curious about, where do you see Intelligence4start going next? What is the thing that you're excited about for the business?
Yeah. So for Intelligence4start, because we are we focus on the marketing and the services for our clients, cross-border clients, and also the multicultural campaign for the business. We still see our strength there with the connected dots between Vietnam and Australia, or even Asia and Australia, on both sides, either on the culture side or on the business side as well. But one more thing is about the tech applied to the marketing also. That is a different a view of the service as well. If the first one is about the audience, like a cross-border business, the second one is about how you do the campaign. So we need to apply more technology on the marketing approach, so that to save time for people, save costs, and then to help people to live up into at the same level for the global growth of the tech side, and also on the marketing, on the approach that all over the world they are using right now. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've got your point of differentiation planned out with that technology piece into the marketing. So very exciting times coming up.
Yeah.
And I have to say, Huynh, when we first talked, you said you'd been behind the camera and behind the microphone for over 200 episodes of other people's podcasts.
Yes.
And this is one of your first few times in front of it.
Yeah,
so
very nervous.
I think you've done a wonderful job. Yeah. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your journey. Very inspiring, and keep going, building those bridges and making friends and networks between countries and cultures. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Jeanette, for having me here today. Yeah.